Hi guys, this is Ray, and welcome back to Nintendo Talks. And in today's video, I actually wanted to talk about basically the genre of 3D platformers. And honestly, platformers in general, and how I just really kind of miss this genre. And granted, I know we've gotten a kind of like a comeback of this genre with games like Ukulele, which granted weren't really that critically well received, but there was also really great ones like Super Mario Odyssey and A Hat in Time and stuff like that, and Sonic Mania, but then you had some other busts like Sonic Forces and stuff. Either way, basically in this video, I kind of wanted to talk about whatever happened to the 3D platforming genre, and basically where did it go, and like whatever happened to like companies like making platformer games. I know that back in the late 90s and stuff, during the N64 and PlayStation 1 era, we had a lot of great 3D platformers. We had Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64, and of course we had Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and stuff like that. And heck, even in going into the 6th generation with the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, we had Mario Sunshine, we had Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. So I just really miss the 3D platforming genre, and I feel like once we got into the 7th generation of systems, companies, especially a lot of the big AAA third-party developers like Activision and EA and Ubisoft, which were starting to become really big around that time and starting to boom in popularity, really didn't do as many platformers as companies did back in the early 2000s and the 90s. And even the companies that did do platformers like Naughty Dog and Insomniac and Sony and different developers that used to do platformers weren't really doing them as much as they used to. And honestly, the only developer that was really sticking true to making 3D platformers and platformers in general was Nintendo. They still continued with Mario Galaxy and the 3D Land and World games. But even then, I feel like Nintendo kind of was not really kind of like sticking to the classic 3D platforming formula that we saw on the N64 and the GameCube, and instead they were kind of taking a more linear approach with games like 3D Land and World, and even the Galaxy games, and especially Galaxy 2. So I think it's really awesome that they went back to the old classic Mario 64 formula with Super Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just think that's really cool, honestly. And, I think, like, even during the January Nintendo Switch presentation in January of 2017, they even kind of, like, clarified, like, this game is going back to the roots of, like, Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. And they didn't even mention Galaxy. They even clarified that the Galaxy games were part of the more linear formula seen in like later Mario entries and stuff. So as far as besides like Nintendo and stuff though, I mean sure we've gotten like the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, and we got the Spyro collection and stuff. And of course those are remasters, but it's nice to get a lot of platforming love from Activision and stuff like that. But I feel like, I don't feel like we're ever going to get back to the kind of golden age of like where platformers and 3D platformers were during the late 90s and the early 2000s. But I do think that it's really great to see kind of the revival of some of these games with like Mario Odyssey and the Crash remasters and stuff like that. But honestly, I just wish developers in general would give the 3D platformer genre more attention that it deserves, and kind of take a break from a lot of other genres that have been in the spotlight for a while, like first-person and third-person shooters and stuff like that. So yeah, basically that's just my thoughts on the platforming genre and 3D platformers in general, and a little discussion on that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.